Saturday night, 7:30 on the SEC network, and just released by the league. Couple of players got the SEC Players of the Week. Jalen Farmer, offensive guard, co-lineman of the week, co-offensive lineman of the week, and then Cutter Bowley, co-freshman of the week. So at this point, we'll turn it over to Coach.
Thank you, Tony. Looking forward to getting back home to follow Craig Skinner. Should I maybe get on the desk? I'll get on the desk. Want me to get on the desk and see if we can fill up Kroger Field this weekend? Yeah, let's. You guys would love that, wouldn't you? Congratulations to Craig. He's a awesome human being and a great coach, and fun to watch his team. So congrats to him. Proud of our team, as I mentioned, post-game Saturday. Very good victory for us. Not an easy place to go play. I know, with them last week and playing Florida this week, people look at the records and think they are not very good football teams. They are. They've recruited well for a long time. He has done a really good job, and it's a good win for us. I thought it was two teams that played extremely hard, that were doing anything we could to get a victory, and proud of our players for pulling that out. The same thing, playing this week, playing Florida. I know Billy's not there, but Billy's assembled a very good football team, very talented, very physical, good team, and it'll be another great challenge for us and another opportunity. It's each and every week. You could sit here and during the SEC schedule, and it's brutal. One game after another. Very good teams, very physical, very talented. For us, it's about continuing to build on the good things we've done. I know we've fallen short at times, and there's been other times when we've played very good in spurts. I thought it was very good this past week to play good on offense, defense, and special teams. Put it all together and get a hard-fought victory on the road at night in the SEC. It's never easy. I was completely impressed with their environment, during a tough year, and absolutely packed and as loud as just about any of the places we play. Just an amazing environment during a difficult season. So credit to them. What a great atmosphere, and again, a very hard-fought victory for our team, and proud of them and proud of our coaches. So, small victories for us. We've been getting better, doing some good things, and hopefully we'll build on that. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for improvement again this week, and a steady week of preparation, and get prepared for another great game.
Coach, I don't know how much you've been able to watch that Florida-Georgia game, but did you see any differences in the team now that they have an interim head coach?
Just slight. Nothing drastic. Nothing I care to talk about right now that were obvious to us. But I know they played very hard. They played very good. Had every opportunity to beat Georgia in a hard-fought game.
How rewarding was the playing right back, and just for yourself and for the team?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was good for the players, as I mentioned. It was just fun for them to celebrate. They've worked hard, and it means a lot to them. Sometimes, when you go through, that stretch and, go a long time in between victories, it was really good for them. They deserved it. As I mentioned, they've worked really hard, and it was fun to celebrate, and, it was some relief.
I thought with Nasir back at corner, they weren't able to pick on him. I thought he played a nice game. What do you think getting him back?
Definitely. Very, very pleased with Nasir. They had some weapons out there as well. And just like you saw all year, some of those hitches and some plays, he came up, really broke on the football, made good tackles, and limited them to the gains that they were, 5-6 yards, and, we line up and play the next play.
Lorenzo Callan played more than we'd seen all year. What did he do to earn that extra playing time, and what have you seen from him?
Yeah, he's been getting better. He's a guy that works really hard. We feel like has a bright future. And so, he's a guy that just, a lot of these young guys you could see starting to put it together and starting to play better as the year goes on.
Guys like
Steven Soul, Sam Green, they were all over the place on Saturday. Saunders as well. What'd you like, especially from the defensive line unit? Is this something we should maybe expect throughout the rest of the year?
Well, definitely the D-line in general played extremely hard, and they were also very disciplined. They were very precise on the games that we were running. A couple times we were light in the box and short with the quarterback draw. We hit it for a loss. Just things like that sometimes go unseen. They did a lot of things good, but they played extremely hard. But they also executed the little things. And you're right, the guys you mentioned, Khalil has been disruptive and playing very good for a long time. I thought Sam really stood out in this game. Very disruptive, really just played very sudden, very sure, very strong, made good tackles, made good, he executed the defense very well. Again, some things that are unseen, he played well, not only the disruption, because he had, I think, 7 tackles, a sack, a TFL, a quarterback pressure. I mean, he did a lot of things.
Mark, on the touchdown, Fred Farrington had 2 huge third down receptions. What did you see from him?
Yeah, just very pleased, with Fred. As, the last 2-3 weeks, some of these receivers, some of the younger guys, but it takes a group effort. And a guy like Fred, keeping his head in the game, and maybe not getting a ton of snaps all the time, but when he comes in, he's produced like that. And is, it's a great teammate. It's a great story. I just appreciate him and the way he's always positive, always into it. And when his number was called, he produced.
One of those transfers you can get who has multiple years to develop. How big is that for just roster continuity, but also what he's done already this year?
Yeah, it's big. For us, it's big for continuity, but he's a very good player and he's been a great leader. He's another great person. And just love his energy. I love the way he works. I mean, he's very passionate. And so he's definitely a guy that we like to have here. He's a great fit.
When y'all went back and watched the tape, just how did y'all assess Cutter's performance?
Yeah, Cutter definitely missed a few things, but I was so pleased because, that's what's going to, look like a lot of times on the road, right? In the SEC against a great defense. They are a very good defense. And, I thought it just showed a lot of toughness, a lot of grit, and a lot of resolve. I mean, he just hung in there. Maybe he missed a pass or two, but he didn't flinch. After the interception at the end of the first quarter, what'd he do? I think he completed 11 straight after that. I mean, that just says a lot about him and the things we've been talking about with him and the way he's going to grow from this experience. You love it when maybe he's not, at his peak performance, but yet still has the resolve to get the victory and did enough. And, and offensively, I thought, outside of, obviously there's always going to be plays and a few things that stick out that were very, that you can't have, but I thought we moved the ball and changed field position. I want to say every time we kicked the ball, whether it was a kickoff or a punt, their average starting field position was the 12-yard line. So, I mean, our kickoffs were on the money. Our punts were inside the 20 every time, 6 for 6 inside the 20, and that was the difference in the game.
Mark, as a guy who's played and coached on the defensive side of the ball from virtually your entire career, what is it you appreciate the most about the way Brad calls a game?
I thought we did a very good job. He did a very good job of mixing things up. When we have, and it's happened several times this year, if we feel like we're getting somebody off balance, not getting too predictable. I think we mixed it up quite well. And our guys, he did a remarkable job and always does, but our players played extremely hard and they executed. I could go back. I told you that story. It's been a while, but when I was a defense coordinator and I was mad at the defense, I'm like, basically like, the hell with you. I don't have a call. You know what I mean? Like calls don't make it good all the time. Players make it good. And in this case, it was both. Really good plan, good execution, and the players played really hard. When things are going bad, sometimes it's, you're searching for, there's not magic calls. The players have to go execute.
Mark, Florida's an explosive team. Trey Wilson can make big plays, so the running back. they were pretty explosive last year against you guys. So what's the message to bottling that up, making them be methodical?
Yeah, definitely. They, play action boots, with, they could create explosive plays. They got some elite athletes on the offensive side of the ball, across the board on their team. But with DJ, he could throw the ball, he could hurt you with his legs, he buys time, and he has the strength to get the ball down the field. So they certainly can hurt you at any time. So, it's about team defense again. I think probably the best running back we've played all year, and that's saying a lot. There's a lot of good ones. But then the skill at wide receiver, puts a lot of stress on you.
Coach, you mentioned
Josiah Hayes, is he just maybe struggling coming back from that injury he had last year?
Yeah, just, we've moved past them at this point, so just guys playing better than him.
Coach, you mentioned talking about DJ. Guy has all the talent in the world. Maybe a little turnover prone this season. How important would that be to take the ball away this Saturday?
It's always important. Turnovers are a huge part of the game. We had to count on our offense to get our first fumble recovery of the year. So maybe we broke the seal there, and we'll open that up, get a few.
Can you talk, that's a play that's not in the, you're not going to see that, when you're getting a review of the game, but that could have been the play of the game.
Yeah.
And the kid's just a freshman.
Yeah, I think I told you all that, I gave Cam a game ball after that. It was just a huge play. It was an effort play. It's an awareness. He has good, football IQ, and he plays really hard, and just a huge play in the game.
Mark, Devin Rayner was your leading tackler. Where did you see him?
Yeah, I thought he played really well. He's been steady, throughout the year, but, there's a lot on these guys. As we know, we do a lot defensively, and so there's a lot on his plate. But in this game, I thought he played really fast and very sure of himself, and, really did some good things.
Kid played quite a bit at Alabama. What was your all's pitch to him when you were recruiting him out of the portal, and how has that kind of come to fruition?
Well, I don't know what the exact pitch was, but I think you could see he's a dynamic player, and a player here that could be featured. And he's definitely a guy, when you get the ball in his hands, he's making some things happen. So we're glad we have him. Again, I'm not just saying this, but I just absolutely love him as a person. He is just a great human, unbelievably passionate, just a great teammate, cares, just can't say enough good things about him, how tough he is, and, what he's doing for us and the mentality that he has.
Mark, you have said for a while you see the team getting better. Do you think this result can add more momentum to actually keep this train rolling?
Absolutely, you hope for that, right? Anytime, you see the, getting paid off, you see the dividends for the hard work, it helps with a win. That's like some of those hard losses we have. Yes, they hurt because the guys invest so much, they work, they know they're close, they know they're getting better, but they're not seeing the end result. To see the end result here, you hope it does. You hope it catapults you. I know this, they've been very steady. In their approach. Win or lose, we want to come back in Monday and try to win this week, and try to go 1-0.
What do you think is the reason why they've been able to stay locked in from week to week?
Well, I think it's been intentional by us and by them. I think, as I mentioned, I'm not just saying that with the players that we're talking about. They're great people. They care. They care about this university. They care about their teammates, and they're invested. And that's all we can ask for. So I appreciate the way they've approached it, and I think that's the bottom line is they're tough and they have a tough mentality, and they want to continue to grind.
Mark, that Jordan Levitt interception, publicists said that made him the first Kentucky football player with multiple interceptions in 4 straight seasons. You're an old defensive back. What's that mean?
No, that's disappointing. That surprises me. That's what that means to me, because we've had some darn good ones, as you know. So that surprised me. So it's the first one with
just at least 2 in 4 straight years.
Oh, in 4 straight years. Yeah. Well, that's not an easy stat to get. So that I take that back on the dog in our former DBs, because that's the consistency of playing 4 years. First of all, you don't see it a lot. You got injuries, you got a lot of things playing into it, but it's a credit to him. Obviously, Jay Love is a guy another one that, man, I just love his passion, love his energy, the way he plays, and so he's been really steady for us, but we've had some really good ones in the past. That's just not an easy stat, 4 years in a row, but says a lot about him.
Did you get a chance to see the Maxwell Hairston interception?
You know what? I did happen to see that. We were in the office and it was on the TVs, and had a chance to see it, it happened. It was good for him. It's a big victory for them. Looks like Deion's playing well also.
Mark, you talked about after the game wanting to, get one at home. Do you have to maybe not make a huge deal out of it because you don't want to make it bigger, or do you just kind of address that with the team?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, let's be honest. We want to win every week, right? Whether it's home or away. So I don't think that's anything to even discuss. I mean, there's always a balance with being too high, being too low, whatever. I mean, we always try to find that slot, but no, I don't think that needs to be discussed. I mean, we've won a game here this year. I know people will write or say whatever you want to say, but I mean, it's not like we haven't won a game at Kroger Field. We just got to go have a great week and do the things necessary to put ourselves in position to win. If we keep on putting ourselves in position to win, we'll win.
Everybody good?